Hey, welcome back to House Rules. I'm Victoria.
I'm Faith. I'm Aurora.
And I'm Jeremy.
So we started this challenge of we're going to play our games in alphabetical order. So we're about the halfway point. And so in today's video, we're going to rank our top 5 favorite games from A through M.
Yeah, so we started in Thanksgiving-ish of last year. We'd seen I guess I should start over a little bit. Mm-hmm. We had seen, these challenges, the 10 by 10 challenge, and I think it was on the Brothers Murph channel, mm-hmm. where they played games, their whole collection, and I was like, hey guys, we should do this thing where we're going to play our games alphabetically. So we started around Thanksgiving, maybe a couple days later, and like she said, we're about the halfway point. So we thought it would be really cool to kind of give you a top 5 list. Everybody loves lists. Ding. Of the games that we probably haven't played in a little while. They've kind of sat on the shelf of opportunity, shelf of shame. Yeah. And, but just kind of brought back, like, man, I'd like to get this to the table a little bit more. So that's really what this is. These are all the games of our collection. So I'm sure there'd be, other games A through M that maybe might be top of our list, but we hope to bring you the second half of this list in a couple months. Coming soon to a House Rules near you. So, let's just jump into it, and we'll do our number 5.
My number 5 is Eldritch Horror.
Eldritch Horror, yeah.
Is it Eldritch?
Eldritch
Horror. It was my first time playing it. It was really fun. It took a while to set up. It did. But after the first couple rounds, it was really easy. It was really fun. At first, it's like, this isn't too hard, but then it gets really hard really quick.
Yeah, Eldritch Horror is in the Cthulhu world mythos, and it's a cooperative game, so we're all playing together. Duh. And you pick a ancient one, and you have different missions you have to complete throughout the game, and you have to do them in a random order, and everybody takes the
lead investigator.
Yeah, it turns being we're all investigators, and we're trying to disrupt the cult that is trying to bring back these ancient ones. And yeah, it can be a lengthy game too, but yeah, oh man, I do like Eldritch Horror. But we played it a few more times than you, but this was your first time kind of playing it. So great game. We kind of played Elder Signs too, so that was after that, though, I think so.
It's
same realm.
I would recommend Eldritch Horror. Kind of, not like, if you're new to the games, probably not get it, but, It's a lot of reading.
Yeah, it's a lot of reading. There's a lot of story in it, so it's really fun. I'll do my number 5, I suppose. I'm going next. My number 5 is Cubitos. Oh, it's a cute little race game where there's you're a Cubitos, get it? And you are going through this little racetrack thing, and you buy these cards that give you dice, I guess, and you roll them, and it's a pressure luck game at the same time. And some will give you movement, some will give you buying power to buy new helpers, and great little quick game to race with. Yeah. I guess. Lots of fun colors.
What about you?
Okay, yeah. What's your number 5, Vic?
My number 5 was also a race game called Luxor, and it's set in an Egyptian tomb, and you're archaeologists racing to collect artifacts and basically be the first one to get to the pharaoh's tomb in the center. But it's a set collection because you do want to stop and collect different sets of gems, jewels, headpieces.
Artifact things.
To get more points. And then at the beginning of the game, but then once someone's kind of close, then you want to hurry up
Yeah.
and get to the middle.
But you
When your
don't-
kids just turn it into a race game and don't collect anything.
Yeah, but you don't want
So
to race
frustrating.
right to the, because you won't get anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Faith. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Blockus by Mattel Games, and you lay out tiles or like these shapes.
Tetris shapes?
Yeah, Tetris
Yeah.
shapes, and you have to put them on the corner of yours, and see who has the less of the tile or like squares at the end of the game.
Yeah. You just want to put them all on the board, and yeah, you have to touch the corners, so that's kind of a cool.
But after everybody
Abstract.
puts out theirs, it's harder. Like it's harder than it looks.
Yeah, easy at the beginning. So, well, that's again that went too fast. We're pretty quick at that. So that was number 5. So
Now
next we'll
number
move on to our number 4. All right, Faith, why don't you go next?
My number 4 is Caravan. So you have to lay out these camels and pick up these cubes, and then you get points depending on what it is. Like, it's wool,
Like some are-
meat and stuff, and like the rarer it is, the more points you get.
And
Then you have to put the blocks on the camels to take them back to the color of the cube.
sometimes like the rarer ones are like farther from the place. From
Well, that's super random as far as that goes because you
Yeah.
just draw them out of a bag. But
But
I don't even remember why we even picked up that game. I think I saw it on BGA and tried it, and I was like, oh, this would be a great game for the family.
Yeah.
And so we had played it a couple times, but it had been a while.
And it's an easy game to learn too.
Yeah. That's kind of a theme for us. Is just quick and easy to learn, except for Eldritch, which that one took a
That
little
one
bit.
takes a while.
So
What about you?
so
Mom?
Caravans, right?
Yep.
Boom, that was a good one.
By
What was it?
Rio Grande Games.
Ooh,
My number 4 is Juicy Fruits.
juicy fruits, not the gum.
And you have a little fruit stand, and you're collecting fruits to make juice, and then you can buy different stands to put on your player board, so you can have make ice cream or frozen lemonade and stuff, and you earn points based on the buildings that you build and how many fruits you collect.
Yeah, it has a really cool mechanic of moving a little basket on your board to collect
you have
fruits.
to set up like boats and tiles and stuff so you can't move as far. But when you unlock those, then you have more space to move. And you can only move like one way up, down, left, or right. You can't move up, like down, and then over one. You have to move one way.
Yeah.
And the fruits are just gigantic fruit pieces.
They look
So
like giant
it's-
runts.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the Runts
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah, I do like juicy fruit. We picked that one up at not PAX Origins.
Yeah, a couple
years
ago.
ago.
We played it and then we picked it up, yeah.
Yeah, we did the little demo. That was fun.
What's your number 4 game, right?
My number 4 game. My number 4 game is Dragon Castle. I think it's by CMON Games.
Oh, that's a good one.
Dragon Castle is a kind of a play on the classic game Mahjong. Cool little setups, a bunch of little setups that you can do of the different Mahjong setups. I think I said setups like 10 times.
Yeah, you have.
So we'll move on from the setups. And you grab the tiles, you put them on your board, you score points by flipping them over, making towers higher on your little player mat thing. But it's fun to set up because it's very random, so there's a lot of replayability in it. The tiles are just they have a really cool feeling to them. And then there's a couple variants, dragon powers and special abilities that you're able to use, asymmetrical powers that you can use to make the game a little bit more challenging or a little bit more interesting. So, but yeah, Dragon Castle. That's a good one. What about you, Aurora? What do you got?
My number 4 would be Harry Potter Deatheater Rising.
Oh, so hard.
It's really hard at the beginning, first couple rounds. It's like, okay, it's starting to get hard, but it's fairly easy.
I think the cat is making an attack on us.
Yeah.
She's under the table.
Back to you.
So there's like a Voldemort in the middle, and he's always pointing a certain direction. And so after everybody has gone, I think then he strikes? Or something?
Yeah,
It's a little confusing.
No, it's not confusing. It's a kind of a classic, not classic, but it's a different take on a cooperative game.
Mm-hmm.
You do your stuff, the bad guys attack. It's super hard. Like it is hard to beat.
It's hard.
At least we've only come close once.
Yeah.
The rest of the time you lose within 2 or 3 rounds for us, maybe. I guess I find that same way with like the pandemic games. That's why we're not really great about those. Is we're very much manage the situation. We don't overly aggress towards stuff. Sort of the end goal, but yeah, Deatheater Rising kind of have some cool gimmicky statue of Voldemort, some cool cards with all the characters from the kind of the book, movies, stuff like that. So three little areas of the game that are important in Harry Potter, the book series and the movie series, I guess. And you're trying to prevent them from being taken over by Voldemort, and in the end, defeating Voldemort. So yeah, it's a challenging game, but it is fun. And there's dice rolling and everything, so there's a lot of luck based. I think that's where we're not good dice rollers.
No.
We call it the Will Wheaton effect. So he knows what I'm talking about if you're watching Will. All right. Wait.
Number 3.
We're going to number 3?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to number 3 now.
My number 3 would be Mancala. So you have these like little marbles. So you pick them up from one thing, and you kind of like drop one in each thing. And if your last one ends in like your pile, then you get to take another turn. And then that's basically the game.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this one because I've only played it twice. I think it's a classic game. I mean, we got it in one of those like classic board games from I think Walmart or something.
Yeah.
But the mechanics are easy enough. But Faith, you're good at it. When we kind of played through our group thing, I think you won that overall.
Aurora.
I won
Oh, Aurora won.
Yeah.
Shh, I was wrong. Don't mention that. So, but yeah.
I was close though.
Yeah, it's a cool little game, but it's super easy. Unfolded up. It's got little holes in it. You take a little fish tank rocks or marbles and drop them along this board, and there's a mechanic where you get to sweep them from your friends and put them in your Mancala. It's what the
Yeah, and that's
The little end.
The
Little
end
ends.
piece is the Mancala.
and then you get to keep them. So,
Your number 3. What's your number 3?
jeez, I was rushing me. My number 3, we've had this game for a long time. Probably
Is it an
8, 9 years?
original game?
Yeah, one of our OG games. And that is Merchants and Marauders. I am not sure by who it's by,
What's
but
from?
is it Z-Man? It's Z-Man Games.
Yes.
Z-Man
Yes.
Games. I knew it. Merchants and Marauders is kind of a big sandbox sort of pirate game. Who doesn't love being a pirate? Arr. And you have at-sea actions, you have port actions that you can do. There's a lot of really cool things that you can do when you go into port, and there's cards that change the game as you go. So more pirate ships come out, more naval ships from England and Spain come out. It's a big game. There's a lot going on, a lot of little pieces that you have to kind of learn. But overall, it's once you get to playing, the game moves pretty smoothly. So that is my number. What's that? My number 3?
3.
That's my number 3.
What about you?
What about you, Mom? Vic. Hey, Mom.
Well, I was just thinking, I don't think I've won any of my top 5 games.
That's right. It's all about the journey.
Yeah.
It is, and I like these games, and I just wish they would get to the table more. We haven't played them in a while. So my number 3 game is Everdell,
Okay.
and it's a woodland theme, and it's a worker placement resource management game, which are my favorites. And you collect resources and try to build a little animal city, and different animals give you different powers to build different buildings.
Yeah, and we haven't really played this one enough to really... We've thought about getting some of the expansions, because there's 5 or 6. We obviously didn't get the big box. We're still getting enjoyment out of the base game so far, so we haven't really had to expand on it, so we don't know much about what's going on there. We should do an expansion one. Like, what's your favorite expansion?
That'll be another episode.
That'll be another episode.
Yeah.
Tune in.
But I love Everdell because I love the artwork and I love the little resources. They're shaped like the little fruits and stones and twigs. So I think
Like
that's...
twigs and berries?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, we got one more?
Yep.
You're number 3?
Three.
Okay.
My number 3 is dinner in Paris. So you have to get different types of food, like tomatoes, bread, stuff like that. And you have to build these like little building things.
Terraces
For your cafe.
And and then you connect them with like coins. And you have to like
Yeah, you get these like coins, and then you get these
you stack them on top of each other, and you.
I was confused for a second.
And you get them around flower pots, the fountain.
Yeah,
music people.
You move the terraces based on whatever the goal cards are,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of get majority. Yeah, it's a really fun, cute little game to play. Lots of replayability.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's all of our stuff right there. Yeah, it's on our board or on our shelf or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll move on to our number
2.
So my number 2 is Foodies, which is another food-related game. You have to.
You have a theme, huh?
Yeah.
Me too.
And you're trying to build a food court, and you have to get all these different foods from different places like America, Mexico, Thailand,
Japan.
Italy.
Yeah, it's a little
Brazil.
It's kind of a small engine building game where you have a food court of little 9 stalls and you're trying to make the best cuisine, and each one scores or gives you some ability through different ways, and you're trying to collect stars that equal your points.
I like this game because I like looking at all the food from around the world, like that.
I like that one because I like to figure out how to chain the right food together, or the right country's food together.
Yeah.
So that's a really good one. I like Foodies. All right, Mom.
Mom.
That's why I call her on the every day. So Victoria. What's your number 2?
Number 2.
I don't know why I can't keep up with the numbers.
My number 2 game is Clank, the classic dungeon crawler game.
The classic dungeon crawler.
I mean, it's
deck building dungeon crawler.
Deck building, dungeon crawling, and it's move your character down, get treasure, and get back up before the dragon attacks, and just hope you make it out. So.
Yeah, we even have the
Under the Sea.
Sunken Temple.
We actually got some from someone else, but we already opened it, so we just kept it.
Shh! Don't tell them. They might watch. No, that's true. We did actually buy it for somebody's wedding present, and then we're like, yeah, we'll get them something else.
Congratulations, Jake and Paige.
Shout out. Okay, well. Okay, I like playing.
So you're number 2, which is not a wedding gift.
It is not a wedding gift. My number 2 is Legends of Andor.
That's a good one.
And it's by Cosmos Games. I know that, and it's a storyline game. Eventually, I think you might see that I do like these storyline games. Mm-hmm. But you work together. It's kind of hard to do. But what they've done is they walk you through the beginning of how to play the game. And they build on the mechanics so that you kind of learn as you play. So you don't necessarily have to read through this 10-page, 20-page rule book to figure out what's going on. But you have to manage your time and your movement. So the movement through the game is really cool. The combat, you're not just like, oh, I want to fight everything, because that's gonna progress the story too fast. So there's quite a bit of a challenge in this game. But the little standees, the little movement thing that you go on, it's got a really cool mechanic that we haven't seen in any of our other games as far as that goes. So, but it's been a long. We've played the first scenario, I don't know, 3 times over the past 5 years with different people, and just never got a chance to play it. So then we pulled it out this time, and I'm like, when we finish this challenge, and we finish up a couple of other of our campaign games, we're gonna jump into this one and go through it, because there's a few expansions for it I'd like to get to too. So it just got some cool artwork. The board has a really cool art aesthetic to it as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Legends of Andor is my number 2. I'm glad to be playing it again.
Yep.
Or have played it again.
My number 2 would be Jamaica. You're kind of like pirates, and you have these different loot boxes.
It's a pirate race game.
Yeah. So you're traveling across the board to get to
Port Royal.
Port Royal.
Port Royal.
And you can battle along the way. You can get treasure chests.
It's kind of a resource management game too, because your haul is only so big, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's only like 9 crates, right?
Is there not 5? Yeah, I think there's only 5. So.
And the hard thing is that you can't switch out coins for coins, because if you have to get rid of something, you can't put the same thing back.
Yeah. That's.
There's a bit of luck too, because it's dice rolling to see which action you'll take.
Yeah, that's cool mechanic, because you have the night and day mechanic, and the person who first starts it says, well, this is what we're going to do night, this die is going to be day. And so, yeah, that's a game that we could probably get to the table a little bit more too, because it's quick. I mean, you could play as, 5 different pirates, 6 different pirates?
Yeah.
There is a little bit of solo mode, but we're really not solo gamers. You'll discover that. So
It plays well at 4.
Yeah, but it definitely 4 is a good number. I don't know if 2 or 3 is very fun, but
Unless that game requires
It's for
that.
that.
right. Well, Jamaica specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was good number 2. So I guess we'll move on to our number 1. All right, Aurora, what do you got?
My number 1 would be Dead Last. It's a fun party game. You can play up to like 10 players, right?
12.
Yeah, I was gonna say 12 or 13, I think.
You have these different colors, and then in each hand you all have the same colors of like the different people.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a team up a little bit. So
Take that.
Yeah. So if you can get everybody but that one person that you're targeting without that one person putting their ambush card, then that's really sneaky.
Yeah, you find out who the team members are in your family and your group of friends who the team up on you. I don't make it to the final round very often. So
No.
if you're in the
First round.
if you're in the majority of the people picked, you have to knock your little color down. You're out for the round.
But you have your color that's an ambush card.
Right, so you can potentially save yourself with your ambush card. But if you make it to the end of the round, there's a steal, share, or grab and go sort of contest between the last 2 players. And the first person, I think 25 gold
wins.
points on the victory cards is the winner.
And
so
you have to talk it out, and you make sure you can trust that person. We played once, and this kid, he lied to all of us.
yeah, you got played
Yeah.
ruthless. That's her nickname here, ruthless.
Yeah.
Me?
No.
No.
All right, what's your number?
Okay, we'll go on to mine.
My
Fine.
number 1.
My number 1. My number 1 is Museum. It's a Holy Grail games, and Museum is you have a
museum.
a museum that you were trying to fill with. Thank you. It's in the name. That you were trying to fill up with different artifacts. It's got a cool mechanic of somebody leads off and shops, and then everybody else can follow suit, but they have to give you stuff because you're sending your team out to go find these artifacts for their museums. And then your hand of cards, which is your inventory, becomes how you purchase cards to put in your museum, and also the cards that go in your museum. And then other people can take from your kind of discard common back storage stuff. And this is one of those games where there's a few expansions for, but we've only played the base game, and we've only got it to the table a few times. I think this game almost caused a fight back at Origins 2019.
Oh, I don't remember that.
We need to buy this. Do we?
One thing I love about Museum is the artwork and
The facts.
the facts at the bottom.
Yeah.
Flavor text is a must.
And it's all true facts about the different art pieces, statues.
Yeah, I love Museum. Check it out. All right. Wait, are we going? Which way are we going?
That's
That
This
way.
way. All right, Vic. Which one is your number 1?
My number 1 is Above and Below, and it's a Red Raven game. It's the Ryan Lockett artwork that we've talked about before, and
Mm-hmm.
so I love the artwork. I like the mechanic. It's similar to Clank, I would say, when you're...
Nope. I wouldn't say it's anything like Clank.
No?
Nope. Nope.
I mean,
there's an above part of Clank and a below part of Clank, but
That's about it.
that's about it. But I'll agree with you. I like the above and below. We did play a little bit of Near and Far for a little bit. We were able to get a hold of that copy, and we played 4 scenarios.
Yeah.
And then we now own Now or Never.
Yeah.
Now or Never, but that, just like Megaland, all that stuff, the artwork, we just love how they do that art. The design of the games flow together really well. But yeah, above and below, you're a little bit of everything. You kind of got like a really simple worker placement, hand management, sort of resource gathering, a little bit of story.
There's a couple, like you read, so. Yeah.
And that's fun with the girls. They really enjoy, like, oh, is it my turn to read? Is it my turn to read? Let me read this one.
I want to read this.
And you get a challenge that you have to overcome and roll a little bit of dice. So that one actually made my short list, or that was my honorable mention. It was right there. I was like, oh, I want to put this one in, but I have these other games that I really, because we're playing Now or Never, I liked this game a little bit better, to put in the list. So
It was hard to choose.
it was hard to choose. Next time we'll have to do top 20. No, I'm just kidding. That would take forever. All right, Faith,
Your number.
this is the last one for number ones.
Yeah.
Can you handle it?
Yep.
Okay, do it.
My number 1 is Juicy Fruits, which we kind of went over already.
Who had that one?
Mom.
You did.
Me.
You guys cross over for everything.
Yeah, I know.
We did not discuss this ahead of time.
We did not.
So there's no further explanation that I have to go into besides that. I like that game because there's a bunch of different foods and like lemonades and
Yeah,
ice
it's
creams
a
they have to
cute
make.
little game. And that's the thing, when we got that, we played it, I think 2 or 3 times right away after we got back from the convention and stuff, and even while at the convention.
Mm-hmm.
But then we didn't really play it again
until
we've gone through our
yeah.
A through Z play. Jeez, I can't even remember what we're doing. So
Probably one of my favorite things about Juicy Fruits is the artwork.
it's simple.
Yeah, it's simple. There's color, and you kind of know where everything is.
Yeah, there's definitely there's not a lot of hidden. You can see what's out there. You can kind of see what your neighbors or your other players are going for. So those are all good. I think those are all good choices for our games. Like I said, these are all of games in our collection that we have finally been able to get back to the table, and looking forward to playing more often after we're done with our little challenge, our little A to Z challenge. So, I kind of hope we've inspired you guys to kind of do an A through Z, or maybe even pick up these games if you're new to the hobby. Because, now we really, by the time we're done with this, we won't have a shelf of opportunity. Sorry, I mean, however we do it. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did,
Hit
you
the
should
subscribe and like button.
And
How do you get videos, Faith?
hit the notifications.
Boom, notifications.
Bell.
And if you liked or have any of these games that we mentioned, put them down in the comments below.
Yep.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, we would. All right, well, we'll see you next time on House Rules.
Bye.
Bye.